Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to have an old school, just kind of classic rant video here. If you guys don't know, primarily a few years ago, I really was kind of talking about Call of Duty a lot, right? That was kind of what I based a lot of my channel around. I used to basically just be a Call of Duty commentator, and, I made other videos and things like that as, like, one-off videos and things that I kind of do now, I would say more consistently. I was just doing as side projects, so I started playing Call of Duty online, at least, all the way back in 2010. I started playing Call of Duty for real, like, all the way back in, like, when I was, like, 6 or 7 years old, man, back on the PS2 playing Finest Hour. So I've had a long, I would say, time with Call of Duty. And in the last few years, obviously, the franchise has gone to this point, I feel like, of realistically no return, right? I don't really see a point back from this. I don't think that we're ever going to see a golden age of Call of Duty ever again. And it really comes down to just the complete negligence that primarily I would think Activision and Blizzard really show for the game. I think the developers probably are a lot more passionate about the projects that they put out than it really appears on paper. But I feel like a lot of the stupid decisions that are made are really kind of made at the top of the ladder, if that makes any sense. I feel like Activision, they're really the people who kind of push the decisions that ruin this franchise forward. Today I'm primarily going to be talking about the competitive aspect of Call of Duty because, well, if you don't know, the competitive aspect of Call of Duty has been one of the most important aspects of it realistically ever. I mean, there's just honestly no debating it. The Optic Gamings and the FaZe Clans and the 100 Thieves and the E-Uniteds and all these different organizations and all the players that have played for them and all of the people who have made all of this history doing all of these things. These are the groups that really helped make Call of Duty, if that makes any sense. These people, your Nadeshots, your Scumps, your Hex, your pretty much anyone that you can think of, your Claysters, your Formals, your Karmas. All of these different people have helped build the Call of Duty community into what it once was, into that golden age that everyone kind of really thinks of this franchise as having. And it's honestly just such a shame to see how far that Call of Duty's community has fallen apart, to see how far the incompetence of the developers has actually reached into the product. If you didn't know, in recent years, Call of Duty has tried to really kind of formalize its competitive scene for decades. It's literally decades. I mean, from the early 2000s on to like 2019, when Call of Duty has been pretty much popping as it was, the competitive scene was a lot different than it is now, right? You had literally thousands of teams that were actually playing for the opportunity to win money, to win prize pools, to win tournaments, and of course you had your large organizations that were constantly in the mix, your Optic Gamings and things like that, right? But it was honestly just a franchise where if you were a good enough player, man, you really could have just made it into the scene. I mean, if you were streaming and you were playing in wagers and things like that, and you were just frying, you really could get picked up by a team and make a really deep run at a tournament. And now, they have the CDL and everything, right? And it's basically $25 million franchise tag. Essentially, that means in order for you to put a team into the Call of Duty League now, you have to pay a $25 million fee, which obviously most of these small teams, where are they going to pull $25 million out of? So that kind of really limited the mainstream Call of Duty scene to like 8 or 9 organizations that can actually afford that kind of tag. And it was an attempt to kind of, I guess, solidify everything, consolidate all of the, I guess, action into something that Activision had a little bit more control over, but it's insane to me the brain-dead takes and the brain-dead moves that the developers of Call of Duty have been going with recently. So first I want to talk about Warzone, okay? Now, Warzone is so hit or miss. It's good that they've put anti-cheat into it and whatnot. It can be fun at times and whatever, but at the end of the day, man, I don't know if people know this, but Warzone is pretty much unplayable on consoles right now. People are complaining about all kinds of bugs and glitches that are preventing it from even really being playable, especially it seems like on Xbox. I've seen so many people complaining about like, hey, fix the game, it's broken, ever since the big update for Caldera and whatnot on Xbox. And, they constantly will put out tweets about new skins and all this bullshit they're adding to the shop. They'll constantly update the Call of Duty shop where you can spend fucking COD points to buy a $30 anime uwu waifu skin bundle, right? They'll constantly make updates to that, make changes to that, but there's literally entire consoles where people can't even fucking play the game anymore, right? So this is one major thing of it, because Warzone has become such a massive element for Call of Duty. It's mind-blowing to me that a developing studio can see all of these complaints constantly. I mean, constantly, literally, because these guys, you know, they'll tweet about something, they'll tweet about different things going on, and they literally get ratioed in the comments by people telling them to fix the game, right? And it blows my mind that with all of that going on, with all of these complaints, they still don't manage to do it. And this isn't even actually the first issue with broken game that people are dealing with in the Call of Duty franchise. If you didn't know, for a few weeks now, Modern Warfare has been essentially unplayable for a pretty good portion of the player base too. So essentially, Modern Warfare 2019 is having this problem where virtually any time that you load it up, especially on consoles, it just fucking crashes and basically resets your console and all this other shit. And, you know, there's been some pretty classic defenses, right? Because there are a section of Call of Duty fanboys who will defend Activision and these developers at every fucking cost, right? It doesn't matter what's happening in the game. They're going to defend it. They're going to back these devs up. They're going to allow the COD cocksucking to continue, okay? So even though that this is a problem, the big defense I've seen mostly from COD fanboys is, well, then don't play a 3-year-old Call of Duty game. I mean, get on Vanguard and see if that happens, bro. This is your fault for playing, you know, a 3-year-old COD game, LOL. Don't be poor. You would think that people who say stupid shit like this would either be on Activision's payroll or they would just be, you know, greasing the fucking CEO's pole at any chance that they could, but the truth of the matter is these people are just genuinely deluded, okay? They honestly have so much love for this franchise that anytime it's criticized, even when it's rightfully done, they will fucking complain about it. And the constant bullshit with Call of Duty is one of the major reasons that I, as what most would consider now an OG fan, why I've kind of left the franchise for the most part. This is the type of shit why. Because these things never change and nothing ever gets better on the surface, but you know, they'll put out a new Call of Duty next year, and of course it'll have fucking 9 million issues on day one. They'll charge full price for it, and you know, the Stockholm Syndrome continues, man. The fucking Stockholm Syndrome continues for everybody playing these games, but that's not even the only issue with Call of Duty right now. You know, these I would say are more casual / user experiences here that people are having, and obviously something needs to be done. People have been complaining for long enough. They know that these are problems. They just simply haven't been doing anything about it. The other issue I kind of want to focus on and talk about here today is the lack of understanding on how to run a competitive scene, which is, it's honestly mind-blowing to me too, because the company wants to consolidate the competitive scene, right? They want more control over it. They're charging $25 million for a franchising fee in this fucking game, okay? Just literally to get started out, by the way. Just the $25 million up front to even get into the COD League. But then while they do all of this, let's just take a little bit of time to think about how the competitive scene is currently being ran in Call of Duty. So, you know, they do all this, they release a game every November, right? Vanguard got released in November. It is just now turning into January here. And for some reason, basically professional players cannot professionally play the game in tournaments and all this shit until February, when I guess Call of Duty season starts. So for the first 3 months of the game, you know, the 3 months where all the hype is still into the Call of Duty game, right, where people are still fucking playing it and everything, and it's constantly getting updated and everything, probably the best 3 months of the game you're really gonna get, considering once they kind of fall out of favor, they just allow the game to fucking crash and break constantly and don't fix it. So they spend 25% of the game's main life cycle not even allowing the competitive scene to fucking flourish, because that's how much they care about the esports for this franchise. It just doesn't even make sense to me, and honestly, it doesn't even make sense to the Call of Duty community either, because everybody is now starting to point this out, and they're all fucking complaining, and they're all trying to get Activision to do something, but, I mean, given the track record over at Activision, I think, let's get real here, they're probably more busy covering up allegations of sexual assault than they are actually working on the fucking game, so to kind of preface everything here, I want to go ahead and say the clip that I'm about to show you guys is coming from Optic Hex. He's one of the most important people to the Call of Duty community probably ever, and also Nadeshot. If you don't know who Nadeshot is, he is one of the most probably famous Call of Duty professional players of all time, and he's also known as the founder of 100 Thieves, which has since grown to be one of the biggest esports brands on the planet, and it's also a massive lifestyle brand as well through their merchandise lines and whatnot. These people are not stupid, okay? These people are multimillionaires. They're both very fucking smart people. They know about Call of Duty probably more than 99.9% of people do. And they're also business wizards, okay? Let's not get it twisted. These are not some, virgin motherfuckers sitting in their bedrooms, right, that are just grinding the casual playlist and saying something on Twitter, right? It's not anything like that. These guys actually have experience. They know what they're talking about. They've been involved in this scene longer than pretty much anybody. And I'm going to let them just go ahead and say this clip right here.
But right now, since the format and the actual league itself doesn't have any of the things we need, it doesn't have like an aspirational opportunity for amateur players. There aren't any tournaments to play throughout the week, throughout the month. There's nothing that's leading up to the actual events that start up in February, 3 months post-launch. We are like sticks and stones, and we're showing up to like a nuclear war. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. There's no infrastructure. There's no opportunity.
If anybody on that side, if anybody on the Activision side, anyone on the Activision side gets mad at people caring, right? Yeah, there's going to be a little criticism that might be a little bit too harsh, but it might be a little bit too harsh because it's so close to the truth. But that they can't get mad for people being passionate and trying to protect this thing. Like that's my issue, and that's why I've been so free to talk about it, because I'm coming at this thing from a place of love, and I'm going to continue to do what I can to continue to do this thing. Like you, Nate Shot.
Now, I think Hex really hit the nail right on the head with that. People over at Activision should not be getting mad about people complaining about these games. Yeah, I understand sometimes criticism's very harsh. I'm being kind of an asshole. I'm saying some mean stuff, whatever. Literally, I'm calling them Braindead in the title of the video, but at this point, dude, it doesn't fucking matter what you say to them, okay? You can say it in the nicest way possible, they're going to simply ignore you. You can say it in the meanest way possible, they're simply going to ignore you. So the way that I see it at that point is, why should I sugarcoat this? Why should I try to talk nice to these developers? Why should I try to make a nice video explaining my issues with Call of Duty so developers who don't give a shit and higher-ups at Activision who make too much money to give a fuck can, not have their feelings hurt? What do I care? They don't care about the franchise or its fans or their customers anymore, so why should I give a shit about how they feel? Honestly, at this point, man, I think Call of Duty is more or less just a sinking ship, and the only way that Activision, aka the people on board of the ship, are even trying to combat the issue is by cartoonishly taking buckets of water and pouring it back overboard. Instead of truly investing in the infrastructure to make this a product that actually excels in esports, that actually consistently entertains people, that provides ample opportunity to its players, and actually is something that matters, they've spent the first and most important 3 months of this game's life cycle doing literally nothing for the competitive scene. I mean, even from a casual competitive standpoint, right, where, like, if I were into Call of Duty, I just want to play like a ranked playlist, they don't even have those at launch. Call of Duty does nothing to actually prioritize these types of experiences or make them worth their fucking money. And the craziest part about it is, even on the casual side of things, right, people are begging for them to fix Modern Warfare 2019. They'll still sell that game at full price. Even though the game literally doesn't function for a vast portion of the user base playing that game, Activision will literally still sell it at AAA pricing because they know that they can get away with it. People are still going to buy it because it's a Call of Duty game. It doesn't fucking matter if it's 3 years old and doesn't function, literally at the most basic point. It's still gonna sell, and it's still gonna make them money, so what the fuck do they care, man? They got way bigger fish to fry right now, right? These motherfuckers, once again, are swatting away SA cases like fucking flies in the heat, okay? And it's completely ass backwards to me, and I don't understand it because, I mean, I don't know if people realize this either. The players, if they criticize the game, if they say something mean about the game on Twitter, if they slip up on stream and say that this game's dog shit or something, they get fined for that. Activision is supposed to be running a competitive circuit where players can't even say anything bad about the game. Like, what fucking sense does that make? Like, this is the equivalent of people in the NFL getting fined for celebrating when they get a touchdown or something, right? It's completely idiotic, and it makes no sense. It does nothing but hurt the culture of the game. Honestly, everything they do now hurts the culture of the game, but they don't give a shit because it still sells so well. And it doesn't make sense. Like, I genuinely wonder how teams that are putting $25 million in investments into getting into this league simply to not play for a quarter of the year, how are they even making money? Unless your team is winning every event and you're winning all of the first place prize pools, how are you even coming close to recouping those losses anytime soon? Because you got to think, these guys are also spending money after that too. They're literally renting out venues. They're renting out arenas to play in and shit like that. All for the competitive aspect and realistically every aspect of the game to be completely fucking ignored. And this is a major reason as to why I can only play Call of Duty for about 2-3 weeks out of the year now. I mean, you know, when Vanguard came out, it was fun for 2-3 weeks because it was something new to play, right? Like, you know, new maps and shit like that, cool. But once the fucking novelty wears off, it's just, you know, not really playable anymore. And that's really kind of how Call of Duty has become in general. And if you make the mistake of buying the wrong game or trying to play the wrong game at the wrong time, you can just deal with the fucking console crashes and issues and bugs and everything that the developers won't fix. But hey, guess what, guys? It's okay because tomorrow they'll be releasing the $40 double uwu kawaii girl, both with big titty brawl bitches, for your M4A1 assault rifle, right? And it'll shoot even rainbow colored bullets. Because, you know, that's what's important with Call of Duty, man. I remember back in BO2 when you could just buy like the weaponized 115 pack, get that camo for every gun, and it was like $2. And the camos genuinely looked better than 95% of the camos in the newer games. Back when Call of Duty actually was worth a fuck and was worth playing year-round and somewhat cared about the competitive scene and somewhat cared about players who were trying to play the game. At this point, man, the only way I can really see Call of Duty ever coming back to a point of not being mediocre at best is if they stop the yearly release cycle. I mean, they got all these studios working on the games, but none of them can get a fucking product finished in time. The idiots up at the CEO's office and in these fucking, I guess, board calls and these fucking everything, they don't know how to run this game competitively. And, you know, in an industry that's booming like esports, when you constantly are dragging your feet like this, you get left behind. And if Call of Duty doesn't wake up soon, man, that's exactly what's going to happen. So let this be a message to these fucking brain-dead developers and these brain-dead folks over at Activision that are just sitting by idly and twiddling their thumbs as products that they've put out continue to just be fucking swarmed with problems like this. Yeah, maybe do something about that, because it's getting a little bit ridiculous. So with that being said, though, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shop Opti down below, and until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, just talking about COD and signing out.